Defender. Antique Depths, 2023. Steel, adamantine, brass, enchanted. Total length, 133 centimeters. Quillions, 35 centimeters. Blade, 113 centimeters. The sword known as Defender takes the form of a rapier, the most popular style of blade in Nazinke and Dichia, going back several centuries. Defender has a double-edged blade of hexagonal cross-section, a swept hilt, and a wire-bound grip, which was not part of the original design. A stamp on the ricasso indicates the 3 rings that give this sword its power and the triadic nature of its magic. Indeed, the great value and power of this sword's enchantment rests with its 3 dwarf-made rings of protection, wrought of adamantine, which are pinned to the ends of the quillions and over the button on the pommel. If the sword is properly held, in a pistol style, with the index finger reaching over the quillions, the magic rings work to keep the wielder of the sword safe from the dangers posed by attackers. Alternatively, when the grip is fully grasped with all fingers, the magic in the rings transfers to the adamantine inlay within the fort of the blade, affecting the hardness, sharpness, and flexion of the weapon. Best for thrusts, rapiers are generally poor cutting implements, though this sword's magic allows it greater versatility in that regard. The sword's famous owner boasted that the highest skill is required to manipulate the push-pull effect of its offensive and defensive capabilities. It is likely true that the magic helped to bring the sword's famous owner great renown. Its construction is attributed to the workshop of the Marbian swordsmith Hartwin Gundabut, though one or more anonymous dwarven weaponsmiths were almost certainly involved as well. Defender formerly belonged to the Dacian fencing ace, Tarziano Gattori. Gattori had this sword commissioned soon after agreeing to serve as bodyguard to the Dogaressa of Prestia. Gattori was later ejected from his prominent position for his repeated dueling and womanizing. Though he died poor, poisoned by a jealous husband, the people of Prestia buried him with the sword, considering him without equal in wielding it. 2 centuries later, upon hearing of this, the swordswoman and Iaidoka, Arashitaka, ordered the grave of Gattori exhumed, whereupon she took possession of the sword, stating that it must be won in a duel against her. The Antique Depths Collection, an archive of magic items from Dungeons & Dragons, is now over a year old, and still growing. All the magic items from the 5th edition Dungeon Master's Guide are to receive the same treatment seen in this video. There are still many wondrous items ahead. The animations provide context and lore, they demonstrate the appearance and sound of magical effects and provide a real-world sense of scale. If you sign up now at patreon.com/antiquedepths, not only will you gain access to these PDFs for printout and mobile display at your game table, you also can vote on which item is next to be animated. Patrons can download the Blender files, shared under a Creative Commons license, and see progress updates and discussion on how they were made. To support the museum, and further ventures into the depths, please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Each model in the archive is also available for $5 on Gumroad, even for non-patrons. Links are in the description of this video. Thank you for your visit.